right here in a while. But this is a home that we're still framing here. You guys see right now, I'm not doing a good. This is not good to be on a site with Crocs on, but they just so easy to slide on you. But this is what we look like, guys. You can see right across the street what the houses look like in this neighborhood. And you can kind of come over here. You can see kind of what this right here is going to look like. Now, of course, we're going to backfill up to all that white will probably be gone when we get finished backfilling. But we've been having a little backfilling going on here. Now, I typically try to, this is when you gotta try to get in here. When you first get started, I'm actually gonna turn this sign around to where it faces just like these other signs here. But when you get started, guys, one thing you wanna do is you wanna have something to let people know that they're at the right site. And this is my sign that I put up here now. I think I'm gonna take it and turn it toward this way because most of the traffic is gonna be coming from that end there. So we'll be coming here. And what I like to do is, I like to put a set of plans, we usually have a set of plans right inside this permit box until we get the structure built. I usually put a set of plans there, and this usually is gonna be the permitted plans, and I usually put that in there for my subs, and I just really tear off the page they need and put that in there for them. But this right here is gonna be the only plans I really put in here. I put the permit card, and I put the permitted stamp plans. They usually stamp a set of plans. The plans examiner who examined this right here, they stamp the plans, and when they come out and do inspections, that has to be on site before they can do the inspection. Now, and if it's not on site, you fail that inspection. I don't think that's a good idea, only because with the advent of technology, you can upload all these plans. If you just got 1 or 2 terabytes of hard drive memory, which I know the municipalities can afford, you can just upload those plans, and then everybody who has a cell phone that's issued by the municipality can always view those plans on a hard drive, because I do that with my stuff. I also put put some trash in there. I also put a set of I put this here, which is a little mailbox, and the purpose of that mailbox is so that when I want to leave a check here for some of the subs, I just leave it right there. And they just come pick their checks up instead of me trying to track them down. I'm trying to see what this right here is that was inside this. I don't know what that is. All right. So now this is what you have here, guys. We got a little backfill to go on here. Let me just try to explain this right here for you. So what you're looking at is, this is the front of the yard. Notice we got our silk fence. This is a Class A silk fence. Class A silk fence is gonna be the one with the metal post. It also has a metal wire. Those usually last a whole lot longer than those wooden silk fences that you guys can see right here. Whichever way the erosion, when you disturb this right here, so the water's coming this way and it's carrying this, it's carrying siltation with it. It needs to go right here. Those posts needs to be behind the silk fence to stabilize it. And then what happens is this allows to where the siltation, as you see that siltation is built up right there, it allows this right here so that this right here stuff won't end up right here over in the street. Okay, which is really good, and you don't want this stuff ending up over here in the storm drains that they got on the street right here. Now, I just saw something that this won't be good to run over, especially. So I'm gonna put that over here, try to remind myself to throw that away. All right, another thing you wanna absolutely make sure when you supervise your site. You want to make sure you got your temporary power. Now, guys, I hope I don't step on a snake over here. You guys don't know. See, I don't want, this is what I don't want. You guys see that siltation and stuff like that? This is what I don't want to happen. Now, this can't come from me because this right here, you see the elevation is going downward this way. So this is coming from up there. Up there, you can see where the silt fence is down right there, guys. So that very well could have been what had that impact on that there. So that's what you don't want. As you see right here, another thing I have here, guys, is I have a, I got the temporary power. I make sure my guys are using my temporary power. I came out here the other day, and these guys had power, cords extending from this builder stuff over here going over there, and they were using their stuff. I had to make sure I stopped that. Number one, it's dangerous to have cords going, being ran over by cars or going across the road. So that's number one. And then, number two, you don't want to be taking somebody else's power, especially another builder's power. So you see right there. So that worked out real good. But I had this stuff right here. I had this there long before we started actually building. Way before everything got going. So this is what we got here, guys. This is really, I want to cut out a little bit more of this right here to get a good little slope here. Now what you're looking at right here, this side right here, you're looking at the main level garage, guys. Now, you see we kind of built a little thing up, built a little ramp up to it. Now this main level garage, this right here is gonna take about 10 to 15 loads of gravel. I gotta fill this right here up with 57 gravel, guys. I gotta fill it all the way up to the top. Leave maybe 4 inches off, and then we're gonna pour our slab for the main level garage. Like I said, this right here is the main level garage right here. So all this will be filled up with gravel. You have a 6 mil poly on top of that. Then what we're gonna do, you guys see these rebars? We're gonna bend those rebars down and connect rebar from one all the way to the other. And we create what they call a tic-tac-toe sign. That'll give us extra strength on this slab once we pour it, okay? Now, we're not gonna do anything right here, guys. This is a chimney. I'm kind of scared to even look down over in there. But this is just a little offset. This is that's just a chimney, just offset what a chimney is gonna be. No, I'm sorry, it's actually gonna be a porch there. So we may have to fill that one. We may have to fill that one up as well. I just thought about it. That's a porch. It's a little front porch. I've got a door coming out right here, coming from the kitchen. So now we're getting started on framing. Now what I want to do is what I want to have is I want to have this thing. I want to get the flooring system in. Right, once I get my floor system in, then I want to go ahead and pour this right here. But I'm going ahead and get everything prepped up. See, you guys got to be thinking way in advance. I want to get everything prepped up, ready, so that once they get this right here flooring system in, they're gonna probably start building a little bit of the house. Then I can go ahead and get this in. It just looks better because I gotta really calculate how many steps I'm gonna have. I don't want no more than one step coming from that garage, this main level garage, into the rest of the house, okay? One step is really all it should take, and I think we can make that work, okay? So we'll have to fill this up with slab as well. You gotta see right behind us, guys, we got a nice little golf course right here. Now, this homeowner's property goes all the way to the golf course. Now, he was looking at it, he was like, man, I don't have much of a backyard, but he really does. He was thinking about the silt fence. He was looking at the silt fence and thinking that his property went to the silt fence, but now he goes all the way back to the golf course, which is probably another 10 to 15 feet. All right, so we got this right here. So now what's going on here, guys, is, let's see, I didn't put it in here yet. They should. They should have some seal sealer on this right here. They got it everywhere else. As you can see it right over there. I'll show it to you when I get over there. But I guess they hadn't put it on there yet. But first thing you want to put down is your seal sealer. And then you put down your seal plate. And the reason for that is because you want to squish that. You want to squish, because this right here is this concrete surface is going to be uneven, guys. It's uneven. So you need something to fill that void. And that usually works really well. Now, what you're looking at here, this rebar right here, this is our grounding rod. This right here, grounding rod, actually goes all the way through this concrete, all the way down to the footing, and it connects to the rebar in the footing, which is an excellent ground, guys. All right, so now grading is going to be going down this way. It's going to go down this way. I'm going to come here. You see, I got my anchor bolts in. You guys look right here. This right here is what you call that's your brick ledge. So we have our brick ledge. We'll stack our bricks on this right here, and the bricks will go up. Backfill all that in to make it look nice and smooth, like we got bricks all the way down, but we don't. A few of these trees are gonna have to come out of here. I had my camera actually on that tree. I took it and put it on the neighbor's tree over there. So a lot of this right here is gonna come down because we're gonna have a grade. All that right there, we just put that dirt in front. He should have been out here already, but I guess he's coming. So we kind of go through this thing. These guys that I got that's framing this house, they're really, really conscious of. They're really conscious of waste. Anything a certain amount of length, they put it to the side. This right here is what I was talking about, guys. This is my seal sealer. As you can see that stuff right there. Once this weight of this house pushed down, it'll push these seal plates down a little bit further, and then it'll get in those gaps there, so we have it you have a good air seal. I don't usually like to see nails sitting out here, guys. That's waste. I bought those nails. That's a waste there. Got that going on, guys. I had to exclude some of my windows let some of my windows go on this side right here, simply because, but I think we got one. Well, that's not gonna happen. Had to get rid of, originally plan was to have windows back here, but the layout of this lot is not gonna allow us to do that. As you can see, guys, this is the seal sealer right there. Some good stuff to use. It's good to have 2 stud corners as well, in the basement. We only should be putting in load bearing walls. As you see, you got these guys it's probably not a good idea. A lot of these guys drink a lot of beer. I think at the end of the day, they come out here and drink. I never see them drinking when I'm out here. That's dangerous to have somebody drinking during construction. But you can see right here, guys, this right here is this is an elevator chute. Now, I'm not gonna install the elevator. It's always good to have that ready in the event that when the homeowner decides they want to add, elevator's probably about another $30,000 onto a house, guys. And number one, I don't want to be responsible for something like that. I don't want to take accountability of the elevator. But that'll be something that'll come in on the back end maybe one day and do. So I put it, you need to have about 8 inches so the elevator can drop down a little lower than the slab. So I made sure he had that. So in the event that somebody comes in and do the elevator, they don't have a lot of work to do. So they don't have to bust all this concrete out and haul it off. That's just, becomes a headache. Got our plumbing drops here. Now, you notice we're gonna have a few little cracks here. We do got a couple of cracks already on this concrete. I mean, The only way you can stop cracks is to keep that stuff on the truck. So you got that, but we don't have any major, we don't have any vertical cracks, which is what you don't want. You don't want to see a vertical crack, guys. See a vertical crack, that means you got a real big problem. So now one thing I noticed, well, these are load bearing, well, this is not load bearing wall. One thing I notice a lot of time is that you don't need to have headers on non-load bearing walls. These guys, a lot of times, they just go ahead and put them on there because they don't want to think through this stuff. You see? So you got that. Just come along there, get the bracing and square these things up and hold them together. That's what you want to get your bracing, guys. This is what you see right there. You want to get your bracing to hold this thing together. You want to hold this thing square, hold this basement square until we get that flooring system on here. That flooring system will lock it down a little bit more. Then the more weight you put on here, it'll stabilize and make sure that this whole, this part of the house is square. And then you can remove the bracing once you get enough weight on this house. Okay. So there we go right here. We got a little bay window going on right here, guys. I should be expecting my flooring system any day now. Thought it'd be in the day. Should be right there. Guys, I bought these right here sewing horses from another site because I didn't want these guys to take my lumber here, the lumber that we purchased, and use that, use this lumber to make those, because that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna do that. And you wanna try to keep these guys from making ladders and, you know, I think scaffolding is inevitable, but you know, you want the lumber to be used for the lumber stuff. Got this guy right here that's in the way. Golly, that thing was in the way. I think that's why. And then now this lumber right here is in the way now. But I think that's why that guy didn't move his truck and get the rest of this dirt moved over here. That's probably because that lumber's in the way. So it's gonna shift me out another couple of weeks. But there we go right here, guys. You see how they made ladders? This is what you want to keep from happening. All these guys making ladders out of your lumber. Let's go get, they really need to just go buy some ladders. Those are dangerous anyway. But this is what they do, guys. You got to watch them, keep your eyes on them. Now, another thing that I got to do is I got to, we have the window information, so I can take all the window sizes and transfer them to the plan. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Just to make sure that they got accurate window size. So when they install the windows, it's gonna make it much easier, because framers' job is to put the windows on as well, guys. So it just make their job much easier if they knew the exact size of the windows' rough openings. It's always good for these guys, okay? So got this little lumber down here that's on the ground. Now, in the city of Hoover, you're not supposed to put in a house wrap. I don't let these guys put house wrap. I don't let these guys put house wraps. They even got a cooking stove here. My framers are not the guys that install my house wrap, guys. I have a girl, Kathy Camp, she's with the House Wrap Authority, but I typically let her install the house wrap. She just does such a great job. It's really tight the way it needs to be done. She understands the, you know, framers. And let me just tell you this little brief story on why framers started doing house wrap. We got somebody on here. But the reason the framers started doing house wrap is because back in 2005 and 2006, there wasn't a lot of framers out here. Well, there was a lot of framers and not enough work because the housing had slowed down. Actually, I think it was a little bit after 2007. So what ended up happening was, in order to market themselves, the framers came in and said, you know, I won't charge you anything to put the house wrap on. I mean, we're gonna have to frame it up anyway. We might as well just put it on while we go. And they started putting it on, and they just put it part of their square footage. They might have bumped their square footage cost up maybe another quarter and put the house wrap on. Because they already was accessing the exterior walls anyway. But back prior to that, in most cases, we had people who actually only did house wrap. That's all they did. They didn't come in and do anything else. They only did the house wrap. And so that's how these framers started doing the house wrap. But if you can build a house, guys, probably one thing you want to do is don't, let specialized people do specialized things. House wrap is definitely a specialized item. It's very tedious, but you can't have house wrap blowing in the wind, which every time I see a framer doing it, it's blowing in the wind. I don't think the framer did that one as well, guys. You kind of see this house right here. I don't think the framer did that one. Like he had somebody else come in and do that house wrap, which it looks good. So that's kind of what you have, guys. Guys, I usually have my cameras out here on site. You see right here, right up here, it's kind of in an inconspicuous place. I need to color these things to where it kind of looks like the tree. But I have that there so that I can see what's going on here all the time. I just came out on site. I guess the guys thought it was gonna rain today. But I just came out on site, but I can actually see this stuff without my, without coming out here. And it's in real time every time. So I don't know why I know why this right here is here, but I don't know why this skid steer is over here. So, does anybody got any questions, anything? I don't know why this guy hadn't started building over here yet. If you guys got a question or anything, you guys can type it in the comment, and I should be able to read it. I'm kind of new at this YouTube live, so this is just taking me a minute. Let me just see. Okay. So there we go. And then we also have a common area that goes in between these two lots and stuff that you can't build on. So you also want to make sure that you got a good turnaround. So you want to have, this is the garage door right here. You want to have about 28 to 30 feet is ideal as a turnaround. That gives you enough room if you are backing out of these garages to get out of here. So that's ideal. Man, I sure hope I don't step on a snake, but you can kind of see back here, guys. I better get off of this. See, now I got a silk fence that's gonna go right there. Now this lot right here, this lot is 100, it's probably about 3/4 of an acre, right? This house right here is probably about 4,600 square feet. And that's heating and cool. That's not including the garages. Now, the garage area, you got a 3-car garage on the basement side, and then on the top floor, you're gonna have a 2-car garage. So yeah, this is about a 4,500 square feet home. Heating and cool. So it's a pretty nice size house. Homeowners, I'll tell you what, the guys, I looked up on all of my homeowners that I got going on right now. I got 3 homeowners, and these guys, for right now, they've been really easy to work with for now. A lot of times, you got to understand, guys, as you go along in this process, feelings kind of get intense. Things kind of change a little bit. Budget can get blown out and get you a little nervous. But one thing that builders have to do, guys, as a builder, in this market that we're in now, you have to be transparent. Just the best way to be is transparent. Just, I show them all my bills. I tell them how much I'm gonna make, and I put the bills right there out there in front of them. It is what it is. I can't change this. But you can kind of see how the natural grade, this right here is gonna go like this right here. This is the grade, and then we're gonna slope away from the house. Um, this guy's probably gonna have about 2 to 3 steps on the front, which is always ideal, guys. 2 to 3. The most is gonna be 3 steps walking into the door of the house. And that's kind of where you wanna be at. You see they building a house up there. That one's at a good stage. They probably got the sheetrock in, trim in. They probably getting ready to pour the drives and start to work on the landscaping up there. That's kind of where you at. Now, this guy right here, it's the same guy that's building this house is gonna do this one right here as well. And I can't wait. I've been waiting on those guys to get started because he got a lot of dirt he got to take out of here. And I got a house that we're building right across Shannon Road. It's gonna probably take half of this dirt that he got over here. If he wouldn't, I usually pay the truck time if needed. So there you have it. Guys, you guys have anything else? Any other questions or anything? I do, guys, I get better the more questions you ask. You ask more questions, I get better at this thing right here. Another thing you want to make sure you have is your porta potty. Guys, you got to make sure these guys, when they're doing those porta potties, one thing that I make sure they do, they got to change these things out. They got to service these things. Now, A+ Portable's been pretty good at helping me out, but you got to make sure they change them out, service them. Because one thing you don't want is for a homeowner to pull up on this site and it just smells bad. That's another thing. That tree right there fell in the road right there, guys. Now, there's something else that's going on with this site, guys. I have to pump the water up the hill. The sewer water there is got to get pumped up here, guys. So that's another expense that we didn't know about. It's about $4,000 to $5,000. Well, it was $4,000 to $5,000 for the pump itself. I imagine installing them probably gonna cost another $1,500. And then you got to connect it. You got to pump the water up the hill. And so that's why, guys, when you're doing these sites, some things you're not gonna know. You want to put a little fluff in these job sites, but you got to understand that if you put too much fluff, you mess around and lose the job. You won't get the job because you overprice the job itself. But you got to have enough in there to deal with stuff like that without having to go back to the homeowner and unless you're doing a cost plus. If you're doing a cost plus, it doesn't matter. But even still, they're gonna expect that you know your craft and you know what's going on and you did your research prior to you out here building this thing. You see? Let's look at this thing one more time. Oh, we didn't talk about this storm shelter. He got a really, really nice size storm shelter, which works out really good for him. So in the event that they have a storm that goes on here, this is what he got right here, guys. So you can go right here. You got all this space right here. Heck, you can probably put a little couch in here and bed or whatever you put in there and just wait that storm out. But you got a nice storm shelter here. This worked out real good. I put an 8 feet, no, not 8 feet. I think that's a 6'8" door I put there. This is kind of what it looks like here. From a top view. So hopefully we'll have this thing, hopefully it'll take us about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. I'm thinking maybe probably more like 4 weeks to have this thing completely framed up, looking like this over here. It may take another 3 weeks to get our windows in, but you can always have your guys in here doing the roughs. You can have your mechanical rough, your plumbing rough, your HVAC rough. I'm sorry, mechanical, plumbing, electrical. So those guys can be working, and while they're working and doing their stuff, you can always put the roof on, which is something else, and then your windows can show up, and then you can do your siding and all the other little stuff that needs to be done. Okay. Very nice. I mean, I tell you what, this is a nice neighborhood, guys. I would love to be able to look out my back door and see people, golfing. I guess I'm not much of a golfer. I I actually went to Top Golf last night. I could barely hit the ball. Didn't know quite which one to grab, what club to grab. So, but I do understand that, from my understanding, in the past, a lot of deals have been done on the golf course. You know, for people who I know that plays golf a lot, man, it's very, very relaxing. Let's see, think somebody. Now, question was asked that how does the material and labor shortages affect what's going on now? It has making, I'll tell you what it has done. Now let's talk about it from a supply material side. Now the material side, it has just caused my projects to be pushed out longer. Guys, a house like this right here, this is no joke. Now, that's gonna sound kind of crazy. This house is comparable to this house right here. They're about 4,500 square feet. But a house like this right here, 4,500 square feet, main level garage, basement garage, took me about 6 months to build. It took me about 6 months to build, guys. Today it's taking me from 9 months to a year to build this right here. Now, this right here took me a little longer because when we first built this house, and here's something else. I know this kind of added on to it. It kind of makes into a little bit more detail. But what ended up happening on this house is that this house, the original house plan, wouldn't fit on this lot. And it wouldn't fit on this lot. It actually, when we went to the municipality and went to the planning board, which determines your setbacks, everything worked out. But what you guys have to understand is that the HOA can increase their rules, the homeowners association. They had more stringent rules than the municipality, which they made the setback a little bit bigger, which made me have to take this house and I had to have the house redrawn and squeezed in a little bit. So it took me a little longer on this house. It took me about 2 months longer. But right now, guys, with the materials the way they are, and just getting the materials, guys, is really tough. So it shifted me from 6 months on a house like this to now it's taking about 9 months to a year to build the same house, guys. I mean, materials getting to the point to where they just, these guys just saying, it's going to be 13 months on, 13 weeks on the windows and doors. That's what it's going to be. And there's nothing I can do about that, guys, because I can't control my suppliers. It is what it is. Now, labor, let me just tell you about this labor thing. There's so much building that's going on right now, guys, until there's more jobs than people that can do the job. There's more jobs than framers that can frame. It's just too much. And so what's happening is, because it's like that, I'm actually, what these guys will do is, it takes me longer to get them out here. Or what they'll do is they'll go start one job, they'll start your job and they'll leave your job and they'll go start another job just to try to get them all. So it makes it very difficult with the labor. The labor guys and I tell you what, guys, this is why I'm here, guys. I'm here and I teach classes at Lawson, and my job, guys, what I've been doing is I'm trying to drive more people to construction. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. Guys, if you're a young man, you can be a young woman too, it don't matter. Young woman, young man, whatever. If you're a young person right now, and you started doing this construction, let's just say you're 21 years old, and you started doing this right here. You learn how to be a subcontractor, framer. By the time you're 30 years old, I promise you, you could be a multimillionaire. If you work on it, you got to work it now. You just can't get out here and do it and don't work it. And you would have more work than you can do. Now, and when I say that, guys, I'm not saying that you want to be the one that's always going out here doing the work. You want to build yourself up to where you can have crews that's doing this stuff for you. Because this is too much for one guy to be trying to run. But the system that we're in right now. Now, here's what's happening, guys. Now, interest rates are going up. And because interest rates are going up, this is probably going to slow down construction. And because construction has slowed down, is going to slow down, that's going to cause, that's going to mean that you're going to have more trade guys than you have jobs out here, which means that the cost of housing is going to become more affordable because those guys are going to be competing for the same job. So they're going to have to compete with costs. And so but we're not going to see that, guys, and probably till another year. You're not going to see those effects until about another year from now. Okay? It's good to see my buddy, one of my frat brothers and old high school buddies on here, Prentice Duncan, man. I shout out to you, man. I hadn't seen you. Matter of fact, I'll be over in Atlanta a lot lately. My son plays baseball over there all the time, over at the East Cobb area. But it's good to hear from you, brother. Anybody got anything else before I cut this thing out, man? Like I said, when you guys ask a question, I go into thorough detail on these things, guys. Anybody else got anything else they want to add to this right here? You can see right here, this is where my plumbing is going to drop out and come out of here and attach to the city. But I think that we're going to have to just cover that up now since we got to do that pump over there. Anybody else? All right, guys, I appreciate you guys for joining, and you guys have a good day. Let me see if I can figure out how to stop this thing now. If I can see my screen, I can stop it.